So we were in the process of flipping this triangle. So again, make sure your triangle is selected. You're up here to Arrange in the toolbar. And we go down to Rotate. And we're going to flip vertically. So let's flip vertically. And you'll notice now that the point is at the bottom. Okay, now we're going to put in another object, but we're going to do something a little different with it. So let's click on Shapes, go to Shapes, and down here we're going to go to the No symbol. See this one? It's the fourth row down and the third column over. Click on the No symbol. It comes up. Again, we're going to start up here in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to hold down the Shift key so it stays perfectly round. Holding down the Shift key, and now I'm clicking, left click, and holding down the mouse and dragging to the right. I want this to be a little bit bigger than that, but not so big that it goes off the screen. There we go. And release. And it's the same color and that as my previous one. And so I'm going to go ahead and move it up just a little bit. But we're going to do something a little different with it this time. I'm going to go up here to the color box, the fill. We're going to click that. Now we're going to make it somewhat transparent, but we don't want it totally transparent. We just want it slightly transparent. In order to do that, we're going to go down here to the Custom button. Down here to the Custom button, we're going to click on that. Click on Custom, and here we are with the color that's we've got. Now this one over here to the right, the far right, is your transparency one. So what we want to do is click over here, and the further we go down, the more transparent. Now if you go to the very bottom, you won't see it at all. We want to see it just a little bit. So notice I'm going to go up just a little bit. So see about how far I've been up here? That's about how far you want to be up. Then release. So it's going to be slightly transparent. And go ahead and click OK. And you can see it's a kind of a light pink, but you can see everything that's below it. Let's click off of it so we can see the true colors. And now you can see it a little bit better here, where we can still see the colors below it, but we can see it's slightly pink there. So another thing you can do with the fill button there. We're going to go over here to Lines and going to click on there, and we're going to click on the arrow. And when you do your arrow, the direction you're going in is the direction the arrow is going to be in. So I want this arrow to be pointing up, so I'm going to start at the bottom. Start at the bottom and go up. And then release. And I've got an arrow. It's pretty thin, can't really see it too much, so I want to make that line a bit thicker. Well, the color, let's change the color too. That's the line color, of course. Let's make it a dark color so we can see it. So dark blue here. And then right next to it is the thickness. Well, again, let's make it an 8 pixel. So we clicked on this button, again, 8 pixel. And yes, you can see that. Let's try that again, only we'll go down. So starting at the top, I click and I go down and release. Now it's the same as it was before, but let's go ahead and change the color, and let's make this one a dark red here, or what do they call that? Red berry. Okay. So there's working with some lines. Let's see, there's another one you can put in there. And it is, here we go. Oh, here we go, insert. Let's go over here to insert and word art. So you first type in the words that you want to do, and what I want you to do is type in your first name and your last name. I'll type in mine, but you type in yours. When you're done typing your first name, as you see here, the instructions, use Shift Enter for multiple lines. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key and then hit the Enter key once. Notice it goes down to the second line. I'm now going to type in my second name. And now that I'm done, I'm just going to, as it says here in the directions, just press Enter to save, and you'll be out of this. So now I'm pressing the Enter key on the keyboard. And there's my name. Now it's right in the middle. Well, I don't want it there. So I'm going to use the right arrow key on the keyboard, the right arrow, and move it over to the right. And once it gets over to the right, I'm going to use the down arrow key to get it to the down, put it down in the lower right corner. Okay. Now I can go ahead and change the font. It's kind of a plain Arial font. Let's go up here and let's change that to Courgette. And let's make it a little bit bigger here. The way you make it bigger is to grab a corner and make it go. I don't want it to go into my drawing, but just right close to it. There we go. I can also go ahead and change the color of it. So let's go down here and choose a custom color. And there you've got kind of the whole rainbow. So I'm going to go up here and choose kind of right in the middle of the blue, dark blue band. And I'm going to make it go a little bit darker. Drag this down a little bit. And as long as you're kind of close, we're not going to have to be exact. But you can kind of see the color here. Kind of a blue, darker blue. Click OK. And now you can see my signature is kind of a dark blue there. And let's go ahead with the line color again. Just to make it stand out, let's make it red. And let's see what 4 pixels looks like. That looks like a little too much there. Let's try it 3 pixels. And let's click off of it, see what it looks like. Okay. So, kind of got a rough idea of working with shapes, some lines, and some word art. One other thing to do is, before you go, is all of these things here, you might notice that if you clicked on them and then go to move them around, you're only moving one thing. You're not moving, like in this case, I'm moving this no symbol.